Hey everyone, I just wanted to stop by real quick for this podcast starts and say you should like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to follow me on all my social medias at John D. Clouser. It's literally the same name as the name that you subscribe to on this YouTube channel. So enjoy this clip, and I'll see you guys on the other side. Wow, okay, I've done like 12 takes, and they've all been pretty solid. I think I'm kind of good on any of them, really. So, John, I think you could pick the second one, you could pick the first one, you could pick this last one right here. Doesn't really matter. Any one of them really works. So enjoy this clip, and I don't know. Thumbs up, and then just at any time you can just cut.
So, if I show her that, do you think that I'll get some puss?
Welcome to The John Show with your host, John Doogie Clouser.
Oh, man. What is up? Oh, hey, how are y'all? I'm just joking around, guys. Hey, how are you guys doing? What's going on? Yo, MTV Raps. What's going on? This is John D. Clouser here on episode 94 of the Juan Solo Show. So, guys, you might be like, John, why the fuck were you guys? Why are you coughing? Why are you coughing right before this podcast? Like, what's going on? So, the other night, I went and I'm a little stuffy because I've been coughing, but anyway. So the other night I went and I got gas in my car, and I saw they had this smoke shop that was over right next to the gas station. It said you don't need it said legal CBD, don't need a medical card. And I'm like, this is interesting. I should just go over there and check it out. And so I went over to this, basically it's like a place that sells bongs and sells butane for torches and like for dab torches. Or I don't, what else do you use a torch for? Meth? I mean, oh God, I should tell you guys a story about meth. Anyway, I've never done it. It's a friend story. Anyway, and so when I went over there, I was like, and I asked them about it. I'm like, so what's this legal stuff they have? You guys have? And so there's this thing called, I've already told you guys before. Is it Delta 8, Delta 10? And he said, well, we got this new thing. It's like Delta 8, Delta 10. And then it's like, what did it say? I have the little thing right here. THC 0. So I don't know. They infused weed. And somehow because in the state of Missouri, they legalized where you can use hemp. And you can smoke hemp. And it still gets you stoned. But it's legal because it's not weed. It's not was it the other thing? I don't know. But anyway, I'm a little my brain's a little tingly from it. But yeah, so I got this little, it's so cool. It just looks a little stick here, and it's legal. So it's not like it's no different than me holding a beer in my hand. And it's so weird because we have these little things, and it's THC 0, which is basically THC, but it's legal. I don't need a card. I don't need anything like that. And it's weird. And so I bought one just to try it out because because in my mind it's it's so cool to try these things out that are things that are legal. It's on this borderline thing where if you just know a couple rules, you can really, oh yeah, this is legal. You can smoke this and it has the same effect of weed. But it's so, what's so weird to me is because why don't we just go ahead and just legalize it? See what we're doing, guys? It's like if we had beer was illegal, but wine is not. Things like that. I don't know. Granted, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm a little stony baloney from it. I can say that because it's legal. It's legal. No one can be like, oh my God, John, I can't believe you do that. There's no difference between me doing that and then me drinking a bunch of beers on this and recording it. We live in an interesting time. We got COVID. We have THC 0. And then we, and we have other stuff. So interesting this week. So another interesting thing, my jaw has been on fire for the last 2 weeks. And it's not even like my whole jaw. It's just like right here, like my side, like my jowl, I guess you could say. And it's like, at first I was like, I don't know what the fuck this is. I honestly thought I had I'm like, oh no, dude, I have a cavity. But I'm like, when I floss, I'm like, it doesn't hurt like to go in between any of my teeth. So I'm like, okay, and it doesn't hurt to brush. It doesn't hurt like to drink anything. It just hurts to like, for me to open my mouth. And it was almost like, imagine like you got punched in the arm, or you got like a dead arm, and like you're trying, or your arm's asleep, and then like you're trying to like move it like that, and it's just hard to do. It's basically how my jaw feels. It's like, but then as soon as I get to a point, it releases and it'll just go. But it's a little sore. It's a little tender for like 2 weeks, and I don't know. My mind, I'm like thinking like, oh, I probably had like an infection. Like I at first I thought I thought I had a cavity. I'm like, that doesn't like. I'm like, well, when I'm flossing, it doesn't hurt or anything like that. Like I said. And then I thought maybe I got an ear infection. Maybe I got some water in my ear. I was sweating at the gym, and maybe some water got into my ear, and it got into my ear canal, and it just stayed. And I got an ear infection, because that can sometimes happen, because that's happened before. And then I'm like, well, maybe I got some sort of virus, like some kind of sickness, and this is how my body handles it, because I take vitamins all the time, and I'm like, so like maybe my body's just like able to like bow, just fight the hell out of this one. But I don't know. Who knows? Who really knows on this? Yeah. So like the last, like, I don't know, like, but it was been really hurting this past week, really bad. And I kept thinking, like, because there's always like, that when you're in the depths of like any kind of soreness or pain, you're like, well, maybe this is the new life. I'm just gonna have to get used to doing this now. This is everything I do is gonna revolve around this. I'm gonna brush my teeth and it's gonna hurt. I'm gonna walk down the street, it's gonna hurt. I'm gonna say hi to like a really pretty girl, and I'm gonna really enjoy like getting to know her, but my fucking mouth hurts. It's like, it's just, this is life. This is how it's gonna be. Like, whoa, like I don't know how people live like this. It's so funny, because I'm like, I'm always like, I always hear people like, oh, I got a toothache. I'm like, I've never been like, I don't have any of that kind of shit ever. And knock on wood. Who believes in these things? Like, you throw salt over your shoulder. Like, does it really matter? Like, universe is the universe, I had Hanukkah. I don't think I ever talked about that. I had Hanukkah this year. I don't have a menorah. So, and the thing is, like, what I think is, like, I don't think you really need to have any of that kind of, like, is it nice? Yes. Like, if I had a house, yes, I would have a menorah. Yeah, I should. Have kids, have a menorah. But, when the great thing is like, the whole purpose of Hanukkah is to celebrate the fact that, like, Greece was trying to enslave, was not allowing the Israelites to practice Judaism. But what's so cool is like the fact that like they had to run away into a synagogue, and they only had enough oil that was supposed to last one day that ended up lasting 8 days. Well, the thing is, like, I don't have menorahs, so all I did was I took a donut, and then I circled a bunch of candles, 7 candles around, and the main one was a white one, and that was like my main one that I lit. And it was actually really cool, because when I sent it to a couple of my friends, like, actually, that's a cool idea. Like, this was cool. I think that's the whole point, in my opinion. What the great thing about Judaism is, and this is what I love about Judaism, and the reason why I chose to have that to be what I believe. And yeah, like, every religion has its faults. Everything does. Everything. But I think it's important that, especially as an artist, I think you should have a bigger thing that you think of. It can only help with your art, I think, because it allows you to think. It allows your mind to go other places, and it allows your heart to feel more. Be more passionate for people. You learn more people. You get to know people more. You learn things you're able to use. Maybe possibly use this for your art. And one of the big things for me is that the story of Hanukkah. What's so cool about it is that these people they didn't have all like the resources they normally have, and they used what they had and were able to make it, and they were able to was able to worship God. And so for me, like what's so cool is the fact that like I don't have a menorah. So what I did was I just used a donut, and I was able to like put, candles into it, and I lit it, and I did my prayers every night, lit the candles, and that was it. It was, it's just nothing crazy, nothing elaborate. I didn't have to do anything crazy. I didn't have to be in the face of anybody. I didn't have to make a big deal about it. It was just what I did. I just did it because I thought it was just, I think it's important to celebrate it. I think it's important to acknowledge it. I think and also another big thing is that when we do have our holidays, it's all about representing and showing respect to our elders, the people who came before us and who wandered the desert for 40 years. A lot of the times it ends up being stuff about the people who wandered the desert for 40 years. And it's a way of, it's just a way of an homage and a way of thinking of something that's bigger than us. And I like that. But the thing is I think all the religions are the same. I've been to the Dome of the Rock, and I've probably talked about this a lot already. And, yeah, hold on. See, I was afraid. I was because in my audio recording program, you have to program it and put the preferences of what you want for the system when you're recording it. And I'm I remember doing that, but did I put it all to the inbox? I did do it the endpoint. Another thing to the computer. I'm well, let me go see if it's recording. So it is recording. But when you go to the Dome, like I said, when you go to the Dome of the Rock, I tell all my friends, I tell people there's just two places you should go to: Egypt, because if you've never been to Egypt, you should just go, just because it's incredible. Once you see the pyramids, would you see out the city of Alexander, you see all these places in Egypt, you're just oh my God, this is insane. This was a civilization. This is a group of people, and this at one time was the pinnacle of humanity. And it's such a beautiful thing to see. And then another place I say, go see Israel. Go to Israel. Go see the Dome of the Rock. You got to go to the Dome of the Rock, because once you go there, you see how everyone's all the same. We're all the same. All we do is we have just a different middleman. That's it. But we all have a God. We all believe in God. We all try to we're all family oriented. We all want to be better. We want to be plentiful. And it was actually really cool talking about this too, we're talking about religion and stuff like that. I was listening to this podcast, and they're talking about why something like homosexuality is so frowned upon in these ancient religions, the Christianity, Judaism, and Muslim. And they were thinking about how the fact that a lot of these religions were based around how you would have ceremonies. You'd have ceremonies, and then you would have wives, a lot of wives. And that was the point of it, is because people were always dying. If you get a cut, get infected, you're gonna die probably, most likely. So you have to have a lot of kids, and you're trying to build farms, you're trying to make food, it's all this stuff, and you have to have a bunch of fucking people to be able to do this. So they kind of look down upon it, if you're gay, then you're not providing, you're not, in the sense of you're not recreating more people. And so it was one of these things, it's not, you shouldn't be like that, because you're hurting the herd, because there wasn't enough people in the world. And that's a theory they're thinking of, why it's such a staple in all these religions. And it's actually, I don't know, I think it's cool. I think it's interesting. Now, is it take it for what it is? It is what it is, right? It's information. It's just information. It's the thing is, I don't understand why so many people like to take things just the face value of it, or they take the face value of that person, of someone who said it, and things that's what the person believes. It's I don't know. I don't really give a fuck. My honest opinion, if I've probably talked about this a lot. I've made this point many times, but I'll make it one more time, that if you're worried about someone's sexuality, if you don't like someone and you find out because like they're gay, then like I honestly think that's like way gayer than like what someone who's gay is doing. So someone who's gay, that's how they like to climax. They like to climax with someone that happens to be the same sex as them. Big deal. See, that takes like, let's 30 minutes, an hour, like then like they meet someone, they fall in love and like, whatever. Like sex. But if you want to get down to like just the X's and O's, they're just fucking and they come with that person. And that's like, that's like 30 minutes of work, 30 minutes of stuff, 30 minutes of pleasure, right? But you're doing is like finding groups of other people who don't like that. You're making signs, you're going and you're protesting. And like that takes hours, that takes days, that takes months. And that's way gayer. That's so much worse. That's so much worse than what they're doing. Like, what you're doing is bringing so much more negativity to the world versus what they're doing. They're just in a room fucking and coming. Literally just coming, and then they move on. And that's it. But you're over here causing all this ruckus because you don't like what they're doing, which is only like a 30-minute wrestling match. So who's really the worser person here? Well, actually, no one's worse. I shouldn't say that. No one's worse. No one's bad. No one's anything. It's just how, it's just maybe I should look at it in the sense, and this is one of the big things I'm trying to be doing lately, is, maybe the reason why they think that is because they're just still uninformed. Because once you meet someone, you hang out with someone who's gay, you're like, oh, they're just like, you're like, whatever. But I don't know. For me, I've always been super open-minded with everyone. I don't give a Frenchman's fuck what you're doing, as long as you're not raping kids and you're not, killing people. Those are the big things, like raping women and or raping people or kids, and you're not killing people. Like, those are the two things. Just don't be doing those two things, and I'm okay with you. Like, what's so weird? Also, a conundrum. If you want to look at something that's interesting, so someone that I went to high school with, was, I don't know. I honestly do not know if if he's even convicted, but he was a teacher. He was a football coach, and he, I guess, sent this is all alleged. This is still all alleged because I do not know any of the situation. But he sent I guess some dick pics to Snapchat. He was on Snapchat, and he snapped some pics of his cock to some girls that happened to be like, I think 16 and 17. I want to say, again, all alleged. I don't know, alleged. And so what's so interesting is, like, I guess he's back on Facebook. I didn't know this. At all. I had no clue that he was back on Facebook. And like, he just happened to like one of my pictures on something, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I look over, I'm like, he's on Facebook. And then I looked to see like all his mutual friends, and like, and there was no mutual friends. Like no one from my school follows him or is friends with him on Facebook anymore. And it's weird, like, it's like, I get it, I understand, but I'm like, I don't know. And I'm not saying, I'm not saying because I'm like, so I'm saying like, fuck, I'm like, is me being friends with him on Facebook, does that make me okay with what he did? Am I somehow connected to that, or is this something completely different? And it's weird because we live in a time now that people want to connect everything with everything. So anything you do, you are automatically connected with something negative. So if someone kills somebody, but if you're like, like my situation, then am I okay with the fact that he killed someone and I'm still his friend on Facebook? I didn't know he was on Facebook. And you might be like, well, are you still friends with him on Facebook? I'm like, I don't really care. Like, I feel like maybe I should, and this is a good thing. Maybe I should be talking about this now. Because I've never given myself time to digest it. I've just been like, this is interesting. I was like, and I moved on. I literally just thought that was interesting. I moved on with my day. But now, sitting here talking about it, because I have to kill time on a podcast, it makes it interesting, something to think about. It's like, like, well, like, I have like I was expecting a. No, I was expecting. Oh, I sent this funny ass video to one of my friends. Like this guy's like drink. He's like Pepsi's a really cool can, and like he takes it and he bites into it and it just like bites all the way across it. Like basically how you when you turn a can opener and it opened it up and it was just weird. And I sent it to a group text. And someone like sent an emoji. I'm like, why did they send this emoji? I'm like, oh yeah, that's why. Because I sent that video. Totally forgot that I sent that video. I know, super unprofessional. This episode I feel like has been completely off the rails. I've gone absolutely nowhere at all. I've been like super chill because I've been like, I'm like whatever, hang loose, bro. Like, Delta 8, Delta 10, THC 0 in vape form, bro. Like it's just like. So, guys, I probably should never, take a couple hits of a pen before doing a podcast because a solo one because I'm just like, bro, what are we talking? Because I've had no idea what we've been talking about at all. So, oh, I remember there's a weird question. So, in one of my weird, like, just stoned out thoughts this week, I was thinking, like, who picks up, like, seeing dogs poop? Because can the blind person? I mean, I'm sure they can smell it, but do they have to just feel around? Like, but who does pick up the dog's poop? I went to university. I graduated with a 4.0 in college, and that's a question I ask. That's literally something I think about, and that's something I thought about this whole week. And I really pondered about it many of times, doing a lot of different things: driving, washing dishes, taking a shower, just a bunch of different random shit. And I'm just like, who does do this? I'm like thinking over here. Well, most likely they could have like a backyard, and they just let the dog go out, poops. No one picks it up because it is what it is. It's part of nature now. It's part of that backyard. It's nature. But I'm like, well, what if this person lives in an apartment, like, and they have to walk this dog out to go poop? Like, does the dog do it? We should I Google it? I don't know. That's something I thought. Another thing I thought about, like, I don't understand like why people put stickers on their car. It's like cars are kind of expensive, so why are you defacing it by putting a bunch of fucking stickers all over it? It's the weirdest thing. It's one of the weirdest things I think. Out of all the places you can make a stand on something, like, oh, I'm a Republican, like fuck Biden, or like, like I'm a Trump 2020 sticker. It's like, this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna put on your car. That's what you're gonna do. It's weird. It seems like it's a weird move. It's a weird flex. It's not needed. There's so many better things you could be doing. Like not doing that. Like wash your car. Make it look nice. Put that shiny shit on the wheels. And which is weird too. I just think a lot of things are weird. And that's because I just don't do them. That's the biggest thing too. Like I'm trying to do more things, like be more open-minded about stuff. It's like I'm cool with just being by myself so much. And I know that's not the most healthiest thing to do. You shouldn't always want to be by yourself all the time. But I really do. I look forward to it. I look forward to it so much. Of being myself. Like I enjoy hanging around with people, but I'm always like, okay. I'm like, great, like about 2 hours, we're going to be done with this. And I'm going to be by myself, just chilling out, not doing a goddamn thing with anybody. Just like, just taking a camera, setting it up, putting a bunch of lights, talking to a microphone by myself in a room by myself. Maybe editing some video, stuff like that. Actually, last couple of weeks, I've actually kind of gone kind of slow. I haven't done very much projects. I've just done the podcast. Because I think that's like mandatory. It's mandatory. And then after that, I haven't really done anything else. I've just kind of hung out. Mostly just focused more on cooking. I've done a lot of cooking lately. made an awesome seasoning for some steak, which was really cool. I've been working on that for a while. Made I made spaghetti sauce from scratch for the first time. I've always just like had paste or whatever, like paste and like tomato sauce, and then I've just put onions and red peppers, green peppers, all that stuff. And I've never really made it from scratch, but I'm like, fuck that. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna make it from scratch. So I had tomatoes. You cut them in half. You gut out everything. You gut all that shit out. You then take your tomatoes, you cut them up. I put onions, green peppers. I do a little bit of cilantro, a little bit of basil, a little bit of parsley. And you put it all in a pan and you roast the shit out of it. And you do some onions, some garlic as well. And you just roast it. And you season the shit out of it. You season it just like you season the meat. My thing is, like, I think it's because everything, I don't know. I like to know that like everything's going to taste the same. So that, like, if you were to only get a piece of the meat, it's going to taste the exact same if you're going to get only the sauce. So I'm like, season it exactly how you season the meat. You season the meat just like how you season all of your vegetables. You do that, you roast it. And I cooked it at like, I think 425 it was like 25 to 27 minutes, something around there. And then I took them out. I let it cool for a bit. And then I put everything in a blender. And I blended it up, and then I put a little bit of paste in it because I just wanted to make sure it had a little bit of redness because it was almost like a greenish because I used so many greens. And I was like, I don't want a spaghetti sauce because I'm like that's not the same thing. That's like good, but I'm like I was going for more of a Caribbean style. Because I wanted to have a lot of spices, so I put a lot of like chili peppers and a lot of like chili flakes and a lot of that kind of stuff. Like this jalapeno and habanero like hot sauce, I use that too. So like basically a lot of my cooking that I do always has Spanish themes to it because it's just like it's honestly just an homage to my grandmother. A lot of the cooking I do is like from what I learned from her. So a lot of it is just an homage to her and her style. So I'll take like influences that she showed me, and then I just make my own versions of it. It's just that's how I like to cook. And I honestly I do not ever measure anything. I cook to feel, and I think that's way smarter. Like sometimes you do get fucked hard because I'm just like this week I was making sopapillas and I fucked up hard on this. I put too much cinnamon versus sugar, so that it was like a brown, super brown, and because you want it to look almost like a burnt color, like a light burnt, because you want to have more sugar than cinnamon. And I was like, fuck, but like that's like that was the big thing this week. This week was like trying to like just make sopapillas really good. So now I got it down. So now the next week, like now I'm going to move on to something else, but I'm still going to make now sopapillas with flour. I'm going to make the flour. I'm going to use all that stuff. I'm going to make that from scratch. So that's the thing. It's really funny because this is all because this chef was like, I really was thinking about having him as a sous chef once, but I just didn't think he could cut this shit. I'm like, no, I just didn't know if it won't work for you, dude. So I never like worked super hard. And so I take that kind of stuff when I hear those kind of things, because I heard that from another sous chef who talked to me. And when I hear those kind of things, I'm just like, oh, okay. I'm like, someone thinks I'm a bitch. So I just need to work up on my cooking game. And so I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. This is like, I don't know. Cooking it can be hard. It can be difficult when you don't know the thing for the first time. But when you start doing it and you do it, I don't know, for my thing, by 10, you have a rough idea of how to do it. Now, do you know how to do it? Do you know how to perfect it? No. But you're only going to get better at that point. So my thing is like, get to doing something 10 times at least. Once you do it 10 times when it comes to cooking, this is only cooking. Then when you get to 10 times, then you're good to go. Like you're going to at least have you're going to have an understanding of how to use your hands, the measurements, how to feel of it. And then at that point, you're just going to you're focused on just taste. You're not worried about like all the preparation and the style of making it because you've already got that down. You're just more worried about the taste now. So that's what I tell people. I'm like, make a dish 10 times, fuck up 10 times. By that 10th time, you're going to have a really good idea of how to do it. boom, you're just worried about taste at that point. You understand how to cook it. You just need to know how to taste it now. That's the biggest thing I tell when people ask for like cooking advice from me. Just like, that's what you need to do. Well, guys, again, I told you, like, this podcast has been completely different, completely off the rails, weird. So that was my alarm. I usually give him about like 45 seconds before the clock runs out on my camera. So I'm going to say like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys on the next episode. Yeah. Bye.